So hi, welcome to Hunger Pain Media. My name is Lawrence Anthony, and in today's video I want to talk to you guys about what do you do when you break up with someone, when you've been with someone for maybe months, maybe years, even decades, and now all of a sudden it's come to an end. So what do you do moving forward? How do you cope with your life? Because it's not easy. Breakups are not easy. I mean, to get into a relationship is very, very easy to get into a relationship, but breakups are hard. When you come into that point of a relationship, you kind of feeling that both of you guys are going to go your separate ways. It's very hard. It's very hard. It not only do you deal with the emotional stress of this person is no longer going to be in the picture, but you also have to deal with, what do you do? How do you cope with life, right? How do you cope with, and don't get me wrong, for many people, maybe a breakup is needed. Maybe there was something that caused, you to kind of feel differently towards that person. So we're going to talk about that in today's video. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head here. And so yeah, let's get started. I got my blunt today, and this morning, he's kind of sad looking here. It's Mr. Sad Blunt, but he's smoking, so that's the most important thing. Comment below if you ever have friends be like, wow, they roll up and they be like, wow, that blunt looks so pretty, or that joint looks so pretty, and it's always funny when I hear that, but that's besides the point. So let's talk about breaking up. So let me tell you a story. I recently was with someone here for about, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 years. And, the reason, because we were kind of going through our little thing here that you kind of sense, and it's kind of weird, comment below if you can relate. It's kind of weird when you kind of sense that, you and this person is not on the same page. So okay, so first let me just say this. How do you know when you're getting ready to break up with someone, right? How do you know that things are not going to be happy, right? So here's a couple of things here that I've noticed in my past relationships when a breaking up is over the horizon. It's just right around the corner. So one, the person's kind of distant from you. You kind of notice that maybe, when they come in, they kind of, they're always smiling, maybe they're touchy-feely, maybe they kiss you or whatever the case may be, and you kind of notice that you're not getting that anymore. Another thing is that if you text a person and they take forever to respond, now I know people are busy and they have a lot going on in their life or whatever, but I'm talking about generally. We're talking about, if a person usually quickly responds, but now all of a sudden, they're not hitting you back or calling you back, or if they do text you back, it's just like, it's kind of dry. There's no feeling or emotions behind the text, and I'm not saying that, but yeah, there's no feeling or emotion behind the text. And another thing is that when you try to touch them, they kind of pull away. Maybe you try to say something, sincere or something from the heart because you're just kind of feeling in the moment, right? And the person just doesn't, they kind of like, or they don't, because the rule of thumb is when you say something nice to someone in a relationship, like if you tell a person, wow, you look really sexy today, and the person's going to usually say, well, thank you, or you look sexy yourself. So when you kind of notice that the person is not receiving your compliments or receiving your words well, it's maybe a sign. Maybe that's a sign that things are getting ready to end. And I know there's a lot of other things. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head here. I should have wrote something down, or maybe prepared, I guess, but again, I'm just kind of going off at the top of my head. Another thing that I've noticed as far as a breakup, when a person is you're not really spending much time with you. You just kind of feel it, right? I mean, you kind of sense it because, I don't know, I'm not superstition, not supernatural type of thing, but you can really feel a person's energy. I really believe that. So if you're ever around a person and they're just happy, it kind of rubs off on you. Kind of, you start to maybe you're not just chippy, but you kind of feel that, that good vibe, that positive energy. You kind of feel that, when you're amongst people who are happy in their life, they're just happy in the moment. It kind of rubs off on you. Now, if you're in a situation where everyone is, everything is intense, and everyone's kind of, maybe they're not telling you they're upset, but you can kind of feel it. I don't know. And that's kind of like with the breakup. When you're the tension that is created, when two people are kind of going through things, is you can kind of feel that, right? So again, you just kind of feel it. I mean, they act kind of differently. Maybe one of the things here is that they may, kind of start to criticize you. So if you're a person that has like, I'm always been a slim, skinny person, and one of the things that I've noticed, it seemed like with all the relationships, that my size was always an issue, right? So in the beginning, maybe it was great, and there's you get a lot of compliments, and then it's like, oh, you're too skinny, or oh, whatever, and the person starts to criticize you. So maybe they criticize the way your appearance, and you're like, wow, so you kind of notice that, once you were kind of complimenting me, now you're kind of, criticizing me or whatever. So if a person is doing that, it's probably not a good thing, not a good sign, right? Or whatever the case may be. And so, it's probably, just keep in the back of your mind that, maybe a breakup is coming up. And then another thing, and then another thing that you can look out for, especially if there's maybe another person in the picture that this person is kind of leaning more towards or drifting closer to, and they're drifting away from you, is if, you start seeing this person and they're starting to take more care in their personal appearance. So at one point in time, maybe they don't have their hair did or cut their hair, or maybe they're not, maybe they used to throw on clothes or whatever, and now they're ironing it, or now they're wearing perfume or cologne, or whatever the case may be. If you kind of notice that, then there may be someone else in the picture. And again, I mean, I'm not no relationship therapist, and I know this video is what to do after a breakup, but those are just some things to look out for. But again, when you're kind of noticing that, again, there's a breakup that's coming, right? And so what do you do? What do you do after a breakup? Because it's hard. It's hard. When I went through a breakup, it's like, you don't want to really do anything, But one of the most important things is to know that it's not your fault, right? It's, if a person cheated on you, if you cheated on someone, whatever the case may be, don't blame yourself, right? Don't, you're already down, but don't beat yourself up anymore. And it's not your fault. So that's the first thing. Secondly, if you smoke weed, get you a blunt, smoke a blunt, and push all, while you're smoking, push all those negative thoughts that starts to creep in. So a lot of times when you're kind of going through things, you have and especially if it's going through something bad, right? Like maybe you get fired from a job, maybe the person tells you that you're not pretty enough, or you're not handsome enough, maybe you're not rich enough, maybe, your bedroom skills aren't, maybe you're just boring, they tell you, whatever. Something that's just going to kind of hurt you, it kind of sticks with you, right? But you need to put that in the back of your mind. And I'm not saying suppress it, but you don't want to relive that, because what happens is you start to kind of take on that persona, right? If a person that, really means something, and the words really mean a lot, and they tell you that, maybe you're a boring person, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. And you kind of, when you walk away from that situation, the thing that kind of stays on your mind is, maybe you're boring. So when you get with the next person, if you get with the next person, you're going to always have that in your mind, that, oh, I'm a boring person, I got to try to liven things up or whatever. And you put a lot of pressure on yourself, is what I'm saying. You put a lot of pressure on yourself. So that's why you really don't want to focus on the negative that someone says. Now, you do want to kind of think of what is it that's causing you guys to break up, because you got to be honest with yourself. At this point, you really, really have to be honest with yourself, right? And my blunt keeps going out. But yeah, you want to kind of really focus on, again, you don't want to put pressure on yourself, but you do want to kind of think about what is it that causing you guys to get to this point. Is it money? Is it, maybe there's someone else in the picture? Maybe, again, person's out of boredom. Maybe it's, a lot of arguments, over things. But whatever the case may be. And again, that's just you and that person. That's not who you are as a person, right? So again, I just want to kind of give a quick rundown of the things that you can do that, maybe will help you go, to deal with a breakup. So the first thing again is to not blame yourself. That's the first thing. So, smoke your blunt and just kind of clear your mind, kind of defuse the situation, defuse or whatever they, as they say, just kind of reflect on things, what causes us to break. Now, what caused us to break up? What caused us to get to this point, right? Just kind of think about that. But at the end of that thinking, you do want to tell yourself that, hey, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that this person, especially if this person's walking away from you. So this is pretty much, I guess, more for a video if a person is walking away from you. I mean, you didn't do anything wrong in your mind. Like, of course, if you cheated, if you stole from the person, if you're beating on a person, of course, that's different. Of course, the person is going to, run from you. But we're talking about normal situations here where you're doing everything you think that you're doing correctly, and then one day this person just says, hey, I don't want to be with you anymore. Or, you maybe find out that someone else is calling them and they, and then, everyone else, and that kind of sucks when everyone else knows that, things about to end, and you're the last one to find out. And that really sucks. So comment below if you know what I'm talking about. But again, it's not your fault. If this person walks away from you, it's not your fault. Actually, maybe it's a blessing in disguise, right? Because when you were getting to that point of breaking up, what I've noticed, now I don't know if this is the same for everybody, but when you're getting to that point, it becomes stressful. You kind of notice things, right? So maybe you guys are arguing a lot, and a lot of those words, it kind of hit you, right? So you kind of start to notice things, and again, breaking up with a person like that's toxic in your life is really a good thing. I would think it's a blessing in disguise. And again, so number one, don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself for the problems or whatever that was going on in this toxic relationship, right? Number two, the number two thing that you would want to consider doing is, for now, for the time being, because there's even though, let's say, this person walks away from you, there's still going to be some lingering feelings, right? There's still going to be some lingering feelings there. So I would say if this is a toxic situation, one of the things that you may want to do is to block their number, right? Block their number, delete their call history, because you don't want to go back through your phone reminiscing, you're reading their messages, and you kind of fall in love over again, right? So I would block them. I would block them, delete their messages, just kind of clear them out of your mind. Clear them out of your mind. And then, so the next thing to do, is to just get out there. Just get out there and meet people. Just get out there. I know you're sad and you're like, I don't want to deal with this. But the best way to get over a breakup, from what I've learned, is just to go out and meet new people. Maybe you don't want to go into a relationship. I'm not saying get into another relationship, because you definitely don't want to do that. You definitely want to take your time, but sometimes people jump right into another relationship and they're kind of back into the same situation, right? But you want to just take your time with things, right? So get out there and meet new people. Get out there, and if you're not in the meeting people mood, I understand that. Just go out and be situation, because each moment that you sit in the house and you got your windows blind and you're playing sad music, and maybe you're just kind of like, oh, I don't care anymore, what's the point, and I feel so down, and life is and it's so hard, or whatever the case may be. But again, you're just going to have to kind of get over that. So the best way, the best thing that I can think of here is to just get out there and meet people, get out there and meet people. If you smoke weed, one of the best way, I still believe that. I mean, I may be wrong because, I don't know much, but um, one of the best way to just meet people is just go out in public. Of course you have to be in an area that's legal, but just get out there and smoke, just pull up a joint and just go out there and smoke, and you'll be amazed at people who'll come by and, and just talk to you and just kind of talk to people, and just kind of talk, just talk to people, and just kind of get into that mode of being friendly. And, and so again, what was, this person that's walking away from you, and again, this is what pretty much this video is saying, that this person's walking away from you. So when you're breaking up and a person's walking away from you, they're toxic. So that's behind you. And today, tomorrow, that's all in front of you. So you don't know what the future holds. But one thing that you can be for certain is that you don't have to deal with the negativity, right? And again, I say that to say this, is that, them breaking up with you or them walking away or whatever the issue may be, that's a blessing in disguise. Because one, if there was a situation, if there was a reason for them leaving you, maybe that gives you opportunity to kind of, so if a person says, maybe you're hanging out all the time, you're not spending enough time with me, so, you kind of know that. So if that's all they're telling you, well, the next person you hang out with, maybe you kind of talk to them about that. And so whatever the case may be, I didn't want this to kind of be a relationship video, and again, you just have to kind of get out there and just meet new people. You just kind of have to get out there and just be in situation, just be out. Be out, enjoy yourself, and have fun. And you know what will end up happening? What ends up happening when it's all said and done? One, you stop thinking about the negativity part, you stop beating yourself up, you're having fun, you're enjoying yourself, you're enjoying life, and you're meeting new people, and, and through all that, you'll meet new people, and who knows, you maybe even meet a better person. But, the person that you're leaving will begin to wonder, wow, especially if they walked away from you, if they did you wrong or whatever the case may be, they will usually, it's always weird, but they will hit you up, they will call you or whatever. And again, when a person reaches out to you, I've noticed, it's best to just kind of, this is why you should block their phone. This is why, if they call you from somebody else's phone, or they're trying to, hit you up on Facebook or something, I guess, you just block them. Just don't even entertain that, because, one of the worst things about a breakup is if you can deal with the fact of a person's gone out of your life, you don't have to deal with them anymore, but then they kind of come back into your life and they cause all this riffraff or drama or whatever back into your life, and then you're back into a negative place. Because, misery loves company. So a person may leave because they think the grass is greener on the other side, and it's not. And then they're miserable. So, if you're having a good time, if you're enjoying life, if you're living life, they're going to want a part of that, but they're going to want to bring you down. So they're going to try to come back into your life a lot of times. And, you just don't deal with that. You just say, hey, I'm done with it. I'm not going to deal with it, and you move on, right? So I'm just going to leave it at that. It was just kind of just a video. I was, I didn't prepare for it. It was just kind of something off the top of my head, but it was just kind of like, so I'm just more of rambling or anything. And so again, I hope that you guys are, have a prosperous day. I hope that, you have peace in your life, and if you're sad right now, if you're down, or whatever the case, maybe it's not a relationship, maybe just life has you down right now. This whole situation that we're in is very stressful for a lot of people, and but I know I can't offer much, or maybe I can't say much, but what I can say is that my heart pours out to you. If you're just feeling down, I understand. I understand how you feel. If you're just kind of not feeling it, and I mean, I understand. Maybe you don't want to deal with other people. Maybe you just kind of want to be alone. And sometimes you need that. And you need that to kind of reflect on things. You need that, that long time to kind of think about it. But, and that's kind of your crying out moment, right? Sometimes you need a time to kind of filter all that negative energy out of your body. And sometimes, as you know, you might tell a woman, or hey, sometimes you need a good cry. And if you're a guy, sometimes you just need a good time to reflect. I don't know, men cry, whatever, women can I don't know. But what I'm saying is, sometimes you just need that alone time to kind of compress or decompress, or whatever the word is, to kind of just get you back to your old self again. And so if you're feeling down, I understand. I understand that you may just not want to be alone. But the best thing is, if you have friends, if you have family. I'm not saying tell them about your story, but just go out and be among good people. Good vibes and good energy. And like I said, smoke some weed. Smoke some weed, smoke a blunt, and that person that walked away from you, that's tough on their luck. Because when you can make yourself a better person, and you strive to make yourself a better person, and you look back and you may ask yourself, why was that person to begin with? What did I even see in that person? So I'm just going to leave it at that. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a prosperous day. Prosperous, I can't even say that word. But I hope that peace and good fortune comes your way. Again, if you're sad, if you're just kind of down and out right now, and you're just in one of those moods where I don't want to be bothered with, my heart goes out to you. I wish I was there with you right now, because we would be smoking. But yeah. So have a good day. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And again, my name is Lawrence Anthony. It's Hunger Pain Media, and enjoy the rest of your day.